Hello everyone! For our senior project, Aisha, Ina, and I decided to be food critics for boba shops. So our overall goal for our project was to basically get a feel of how it is to be a food critic, a journalist, a vlogger, and a blogger all at the same time in order to write reviews on a website and for everyone to explore. While we all experienced different roles and distributed these tasks, we learned that we needed necessary skills in order to give good and constructive criticism. For example, writing and presentation skills. We learned that being a food critic, we needed to learn to write well-informed, unbiased, and also thoughtful reviews in order to give the audience or the general public decide where to spend their money. Another thing was food criticism takes a lot of observing, and while observing, you need to be meticulous not only about food but also the customer service or the environment or the vibe of the boba shops. Another thing, as food critics have to have an open mind and objectivity. Though there was a lot of boba shops that we liked, we needed to avoid the appearance of favoritism on our reviews. As for blogging, it takes a lot of writing, but it also takes a lot of marketing skills. We needed to learn how to develop pictures and our concise writing so it can catch the attention of our viewers. So another skill that we needed to learn was blogging, and blogging took a lot of editing, making audience appropriate videos, and also for them to be entertaining for our viewers. And so overall, our project's goal was to create a fun memory and experience with my friends since it's our last year of high school, and we learned to better communicate and collaborate with each other over drinking boba.
So to get our senior project started, we first came up with a list of shops that we were really interested in and were considering going to, and I will pull up the list right now. We used a Google Doc to make the list, and we basically split up the shops for each trip so that we would get multiple shops done in one go. For example, the first trip we were planning had these two shops, Ifong and T-Zone, and then we continued off the list with other possible shops, and they were from various places. So one was from Albany, then there's Hercules, San Pablo. These were our backups, which we had already been to, so we were trying to avoid those and try out shops that we hadn't been to before. Anywho, we had Berkeley and SF as the other areas. So once we would set out 2 to 3 shops from our list for a trip, we would then start talking and figuring out a time and date and also a source of transportation that would work for all of us. So since we were on a budget and taking the bus or BART would be time consuming and also not really safe, we had our parents as our source of transportation, and once we would have the date and everything figured out and we'd go to the shops, we would obviously order our food, and then we'd start filming just for fun, and after we film, we would edit the film and then start writing our blog and then publish it, and basically we would repeat this step for each shop that we would go to. So one challenge that we had was our budget. When I initially introduced this food critic idea to Genesis and Ina, what I had in mind was to try out different restaurants, but then we eventually decided that that would be way too expensive, so we came up with the solution of trying out boba shops instead.
So another obstacle that we had in our project was also, in my opinion, strict parents. It was kind of harder to decide when to pick a date. We all had busy schedules, especially on the weekends. So sometimes we had to communicate to each other on and schedule when we're all available.
Transportation was also one of our obstacles since we don't know how to drive and our parents were not always available at the time that we wanted to. We know that taking the bus or the BART was an alternative option, but the fee would just add to our budget. Thankfully, Ethan's mom was able to drop us off in Berkeley, and Genesis' mom picked us up.
Another surprise that we faced in our project was the coronavirus. Since our project obviously involved the outdoors as we had to try out different boba shops, the coronavirus made it impossible for us to continue doing that, so we had to end up picking our 2 backup shops that we had already been to, so that kind of made it less fun and less of a learning experience than it would have been if the coronavirus hadn't happened.
Some examples of what we've accomplished by doing this project is that we gained knowledge and experience on how it's like to be a food critic. We improved our writing and presentation skills by creating and publishing a website. We improved our decision-making skills since there are a lot of options to choose from and we don't really know which suits our taste. We also had to decide which place to go to, then compare it to other places which we think is good. Lastly, we used our communication skills, whether to ask for a recommendation on what drink they think is good or simply just by ordering a drink or food. We learned how to vlog and edit videos. We also made our videos more professional to gain more audience and encourage to visit the boba shops. We also made our website interesting and aesthetic for all the viewers to see. Overall, we learned how to get out of our comfort zone and explore new things together.
One thing that I learned about myself by doing this project was my creativity. I was able to take my interest in boba to the next level and come up with a senior project that would not only allow me to gain an experience as a food critic, but also serve as an opportunity for my friends and I to have a memorable experience as we approach the end of our senior year. It also makes me glad that we were at least able to complete half of our project together before the coronavirus came up and canceled a bunch of events that we had anticipated to attend during the last few months of high school.
One thing I learned about myself while doing this project is that I should spend more time with my friends outside of school. We've been friends for almost 4 years and I noticed that we never hang out other than school-related stuff. And I feel like we've wasted all those time, especially now that we will be in college post the quarantine. We should have been more outgoing and enjoyed our high school year.
So one thing that I learned about myself through this project was that I was really passionate about writing reviews. I found myself researching and wanting to give good constructive criticism to our audience so they can also enjoy something that I enjoy. And I found myself invested in our website. I learned to be very creative and learn new sets of skills as a food critic.
Getting boba with my friends has always acted as a custom, so I will definitely continue exploring new shops with them once this coronavirus ends. I also believe that the communication skills I was able to gain out of this experience will come in handy once I go to college and start making new friends, meeting new people. At the same time, I am likely to apply my writing and presentation, communication skills for future college classes and internships.
I'll definitely keep on doing this project with them, except for the blogging part. I would really love to visit other places that we haven't been to once the quarantine ends. Communication skills and presentation skills will be really helpful when we go to college and we have jobs.
And yes, I will continue this activity even after because this is a really fun experience, trying new things, and well, we didn't really finish this whole project. We didn't get to go to other places, so I think that trying new things would be fun after this situation is done. I gained a lot of skills such as communication, collaboration, and writing. So I would get to apply these skills in my classes that I'll be attending at the university, and also my intended career that has to do a lot with interpersonal skills. So here is a brief tour of our website that we created for our project on Wix. We decided to call it A Pinch of Elegance. And this is our homepage, as you can see, with the recent posts and reviews that we've already organized. We wanted to go for a very aesthetic, purple pastel type of thing to make it look elegant. Now for this page, this is our blog, and which contains all the reviews that we've already wrote. Now in this page contains our vlog, so unfortunately we only have one since that was the only shop we were able to go to, but there's also one on the way that still just needs a little more editing. And our last page, which is the behind the scenes, contains a lot of pictures. We don't want to give a lot away, so let's go back to the home page. But the behind the scenes basically is all the pictures that we've taken with boba drinks and other foods that we've ate in those shops. So overall, this is the final product of our senior project. I hope everyone can enjoy it, and we will leave the link so you guys can explore and look at our vlogs.